offense.
Yeah, how do you think him and Nicola are just meshing on offense and defense?
I thought today was their best day. You know, they've had moments in the first 5 practices where they looked very good, but they also had moments where you could tell this is a new pairing. They're getting used to each other. Today, though, I thought they had some great exchanges, playing off of each other, playing with each other, and hopefully, off of today, we can only build on that.
Have you decided who to start at point guard tomorrow?
No, I have not. Still made a decision on that.
With Emmanuel, has it been more about him reinventing his game or kind of fine-tuning it and refining it to a certain extent?
I would say after 2 seasons with us, I think more than reinventing, just coming back a better player. And that's not to say he was not a good player, but all the areas that we gave him to work on, tightening up his handle, doing a better job of finishing in traffic at the rim, becoming a more consistent jump shooter. So when you're open, being in better shape. I mean, all those areas he's come back and he's improved upon. And so he's had 6 very good practices. And now the challenge is, now can we continue to play at a high level? And tomorrow night, use all the things that we worked on against a very good basketball team in the Golden State Warriors.
Throughout camp, how has just the consistency been in terms of energy, performance on the court? Because I know that's been a big thing in terms of not getting too high on the highs and too low on the lows.
For Emmanuel, for the team?
Just in general, as a team.
I would say out of 6 practices, we had 5 very good practices. I thought we had 1 mediocre to poor practice. That was our second one. But ever since then, obviously our 2 days are over. There's been good energy. Guys are working hard, so there hasn't been a lot of ups and downs. Aside from that 1 practice, to be honest, I think we've been really good, and the energy's been there, and guys are competing. Let's be honest, we have a deep, talented roster, and everybody's pushing the man next to them, and I love to see that because competition is very healthy.
You mentioned Trey yesterday and kind of how you like that pairing with him and Mason. What is it about that particular pairing that you like as far as what those 2 guys can do on the court together?
I think the compliment is you have, Mason Plumlee's a hell of an athlete. Mason is a guy that when he runs the floor or when he screens and rolls is a lob threat. You can throw it up to him. Trey Lyles, you have maybe not the athlete that Mason might be, but great skill. Trey's in the best shape of his pro career, in my opinion. And the fact that you have great skill on the perimeter, athleticism, physicality at the rim, and Mason, they play off of each other very well.
Torrey Craig's another guy that you had very high praise for yesterday. Going back to, how did you guys find him in Australia? Kind of what was the origin of wanting to bring him to your team?
Yeah, I mean, all the credit goes to Tim Connolly and his staff. I think they've proven time and time again they find players everywhere. Bosnia, Serbia, and now you have a young man from the United States that's played pro ball in Australia, was Defensive Player of the Year. And Tim's brothers, Tim's comes from a big family, a big basketball family, and his brother Joe was coaching in Australia. And I think Joe saw Torrey Craig play and said, this is exactly the kind of player that Mike Malone would love to coach, and he's right. So Tim, his staff, his family relationships, saw Torrey, realized that he's a position that we value in terms of us becoming a better defensive team. Gave him a chance in Summer League, and he played great. And that's when we signed him to a 2-way contract. So I'm happy that Torrey's here, and he's only going to continue to get better.
When did you realize that he has NBA potential? You said yesterday he's not just a 2-way player, he's an NBA player.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the league a long time, and I've coached players. And a lot of times when you talk about a player as a defensive specialist, that comes with offensive shortcomings. Torrey doesn't have offensive shortcomings, but I realized it in Summer League. We got him in practices for Summer League in Denver. And then once we got to Vegas, started playing games, seeing his defensive versatility, and his breakout game was against Houston when he put up 25 points, whatever, had a bunch of rebounds, guarded multiple positions, and that's when you saw, hey, you know what, this kid has a chance to be an NBA player, a rotation player at some point.
Does Nicola have to adjust his game at all on offense with Paul here?
I wouldn't say adjust. He's just probably got to realize that we played through Nicola exclusively last year. If he was out there with Kenneth or he was out there with Nurk or whoever, it was Nicola was a guy. Well, the great thing now is that we have somebody that can share in that load. We can play through Paul Millsap in the post. We can play through Paul Millsap on the elbow or in the high post. So it's not really getting used to playing with him, but just getting comfortable with, okay, you know what? We have another very capable playmaker out here. So now the pressure is not on me to always make the play. I can play off of him, and I think we'll continue to see that relationship on the court blossom as they start to get more and more comfortable with each other.
I'm guessing how high IQ players both of them are, it's a pretty easy transition though.
It is and it isn't. I mean, because when you're so used to being the guy that has the ball, like Nikola is, and when you're so used to having the guy having the ball like Paul somewhat is, now they got to kind of play off of each other. And so if Paul is up top, sometimes we're going to need Nikola to be low, and vice versa. So I think it will be a relatively headache-free transition for those guys. But it's not just walk in the gym and they got it. Repetition is the best teacher, and I think the more we practice, the more we play, the more we script, I think they'll get there.
When you look at tomorrow's game, just what are the biggest priorities or the biggest things that you want to see this team accomplish just in that first preseason game?
Yeah, just get better. I mean, I know it probably sounds cliche, but one of our goals is get better every day. I'm not caught up in we're going to Golden State, we're playing the defending champs. I'm worried about can we take 6 practices in Boulder and use tomorrow's shoot around, tomorrow's game as an opportunity to get better and take everything we worked on and put it into a game situation. And we're going to make mistakes. Game 1, we'll make mistakes and we'll clean up. But as long as we're improving and getting better every day, that's my number one goal and priority.
Some of us might not see you until you guys have already played the Lakers. Just wondering if you had any initial thoughts on what you thought of Lonzo Ball.
I saw him play a little. I mean, not a lot. I haven't seen him play a ton. He was in Vegas. Obviously, the Vegas Summer League became the Lakers Summer League. They had a great turnout. From what I've seen, the kid is a special talent, and his this natural, innate ability as a playmaker with his vision and making everybody around him better is exciting. So I think he's one of the young, up-and-coming players that the league and the country is excited about, and for a good reason.
Yeah, I just brought it up because a lot of people say his IQ, his passing ability, his vision, it kind of reminds him of Nikola, just a little bit from a different position.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people say J Kidd, he gets a lot of ball, J Kidd comparisons, but I don't think it's fair for anybody. J Kidd's a Hall of Famer. Let Lonzo Ball be Lonzo Ball. And the neat thing about having Nikola is that he happens to be a 7-footer who's making the same types of plays. And that's why we feel we have a great player who can play so many positions, in Nikola Jokic.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate